Manifesting Self-Love, a daily journal for affirmations and personal growth. Written and published by Ciro Irmici. Feel free to subscribe for more content. Now let's get into the book. Introduction. Welcome to Manifesting Self-Love, a daily journal for affirmations and personal growth. In a world that constantly demands so much from us, our time, our energy, our attention, it's easy to overlook the one person who deserves care the most, ourselves. But self-love isn't a luxury. It's a necessity, a foundation for everything else we aspire to be and do. This journal invites you on a transformative journey toward loving and accepting yourself, no matter where you are in life right now. Self-love goes beyond fleeting moments of treating yourself to something nice or indulging in a moment of peace. It's about nurturing a deeper connection with yourself, knowing that you are worthy of love and kindness every single day. When we think of self-love, we often picture external actions, but it begins internally, with the thoughts we think, the words we say to ourselves, and the beliefs we hold. Every choice you make, every boundary you set, every affirmation you speak, all of these are acts of self-love that strengthen your sense of worth and well-being. Imagine what your life would look like if every day, you consciously chose to honor yourself, not in a selfish way but in a compassionate, affirming, and empowering way. This is what this journal will help you achieve: a daily practice of reminding yourself of your value, of recognizing the beauty in your imperfections, and of manifesting a life that reflects the love and respect you deserve. Daily affirmations will be your tool for this journey. These simple yet powerful statements help to shift the narrative that plays in your mind. Too often we allow negative thoughts and self-doubt to take over, believing that we aren't enough. Affirmations challenge these limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering truths. By speaking words of kindness and strength to yourself each day, you begin to rewire your brain, allowing positivity to flourish where self-criticism once stood. This journal is here to guide you. Each day you'll find prompts designed to encourage reflection, growth, and healing. You don't need to rush through the pages or have all the answers right away. Self-love is a journey, not a destination. Some days will feel light and easy, while others may bring up emotions you didn't expect. That's okay. It's all part of the process. The important thing is to show up for yourself, consistently and with an open heart. As you move through this journal, you'll start to see how self-love influences every aspect of your life. When you love and accept yourself, you begin to attract better relationships, make more aligned decisions, and experience a deeper sense of peace and joy. Manifesting self-love isn't just about feeling good in the moment, it's about building a foundation for a life that reflects the best version of you. So, here we are, at the beginning of something truly special. A journey where you'll learn to speak kindly to yourself, embrace your worth, and manifest a life filled with love, abundance, and joy. Take a moment to breathe in, and as you exhale, let go of any doubt or hesitation. You are ready for this. You are worthy of this. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Foundations of Self-Love. Self-love is a concept that sounds simple but can feel elusive for many. We've all heard the advice to love yourself. But what does that truly mean? How do we cultivate love for ourselves when, at times, we feel inadequate, flawed, or even unworthy? In this first chapter, we'll explore the foundations of self-love, breaking it down into practical steps that you can incorporate into your daily life. You'll come to understand that self-love is not a destination you reach once and for all. Rather, it is a lifelong practice, a choice you make every day no matter where you are in your journey. Self-love begins with recognizing your inherent worth. From the moment we are born, we are worthy of love, of kindness, of compassion. Yet, as life unfolds, many of us internalize messages that tell us otherwise. We absorb criticism, compare ourselves to others, and hold ourselves to impossible standards. We forget that our worth is not defined by our achievements, our appearance, or how others perceive us. Instead, our worth is intrinsic. It exists simply because we are. But acknowledging your worth is often easier said than done. Many people struggle with negative self-talk and limiting beliefs, those internal voices that say, "I'm not good enough," or "I don't deserve happiness." These thoughts become ingrained in us over time, shaping the way we see ourselves and interact with the world. The first step in cultivating self-love is to become aware of these thoughts and question them. Where did they come from? Are they really true? More often than not, these beliefs are the result of external influences, society, past experiences, or the opinions of others, not the truth of who we are. Once we begin to unravel these limiting beliefs, we can replace them with affirmations that reflect our true worth. Affirmations are powerful because they help reprogram the mind. When you speak positive, loving statements about yourself, even if you don't fully believe them at first, you are planting seeds of self-love that will grow with time and repetition. Each time you affirm your worth, you are reinforcing the truth that you are enough just as you are. Self-love also requires self-compassion. This means being kind to yourself, especially when you're struggling or feeling inadequate. Too often we are our own harshest critics. We hold ourselves to impossible standards, and when we fall short, we punish ourselves with guilt or shame. But true self-love involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a close friend. When you make a mistake, instead of beating yourself up, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And how can I grow from this experience? Self-compassion is not about excusing bad behavior or avoiding accountability. It's about acknowledging that you are human, and that being human means being imperfect. A major component of self-love is accepting yourself fully, flaws and all. This doesn't mean you can't strive to improve or grow. It means you can love yourself even as you work on becoming the best version of yourself. Self-acceptance is about embracing every part of who you are, the parts you're proud of and the parts you might not be. It's about understanding that your imperfections do not diminish your worth. In fact, they are part of what makes you unique. One of the challenges in practicing self-love is that we live in a world that often encourages comparison and competition. Social media, in particular, can make it easy to fall into the trap of measuring yourself against others. You see people's highlight reels, their successes, their carefully curated images, and you may start to feel like you don't measure up. But comparing yourself to others is a surefire way to undermine your self-worth. Your journey is your own, and it's unlike anyone else's. What's important is that you honor your path, your pace, and your progress without worrying about what others are doing. Another foundational aspect of self-love is setting boundaries. Boundaries are the limits we set to protect our well-being, emotionally, mentally, and physically. Often, people who struggle with self-love have difficulty setting boundaries because they fear rejection or disapproval. But boundaries are essential for self-respect. When you set boundaries, you are saying, I value myself enough to prioritize my needs and protect my energy. This might mean saying no to requests that drain you, distancing yourself from toxic relationships, or carving out time for yourself when you need rest. Lastly, self-love is not a solitary endeavor. While it's deeply personal, it's also something that can be strengthened by your connections with others. Surrounding yourself with people who support and uplift you is crucial. Seek out relationships that reflect the love and respect you are working to cultivate within yourself. At the same time, be mindful of relationships that do the opposite, those that leave you feeling drained, unworthy, or unseen. You deserve to be in relationships that nurture your growth, not diminish it. As you move forward in this journal, remember that self-love is a practice. Some days will feel easy and self-love will come naturally. Other days will be more difficult, and that's okay. On those days, lean into the tools you're developing here: affirmations, compassion, and acceptance. These are the building blocks of your self-love journey. Be patient with yourself and trust that the more you practice, the more natural it will become. At the heart of this chapter is a simple truth: you are worthy of love right now, exactly as you are. The foundation of self-love lies in accepting this truth and allowing it to guide the way you treat yourself every day. This is not a journey to perfection. It's a journey to wholeness, where you honor all parts of yourself and choose love, again and again. You are worthy, you are enough, and this is just the beginning. Chapter 2: Cultivating Positive Self-Talk. One of the most important aspects of self-love is the way we speak to ourselves. Our internal dialogue, the thoughts we think and the words we use, has a profound impact on how we feel about ourselves and the world around us. Positive self-talk is the cornerstone of a healthy, loving relationship with yourself. In this chapter, we'll explore the power of your inner voice, how to identify and replace negative self-talk, and how to build a habit of speaking to yourself in ways that nurture your self-worth and encourage growth. The power of words. Words are powerful. The way we talk to ourselves shapes our reality, influencing not only how we see ourselves but also how we show up in the world. If you tell yourself that you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not worthy, those beliefs will begin to manifest in your actions, choices, and relationships. Negative self-talk can lead to feelings of inadequacy, fear, and self-doubt, which hold you back from pursuing your goals or living your life fully. On the other hand, positive self-talk can build confidence, resilience, and self-love. It's important to remember that your mind believes what you tell it. If you continually feed it negativity, it will accept that as truth. But when you choose to speak to yourself with kindness, love, and encouragement, you create a mental environment where growth and self-acceptance can flourish. This is why cultivating positive self-talk is such a vital step on your self-love journey. Recognizing negative self-talk. Before you can shift to positive self-talk, you first need to become aware of the negative patterns in your internal dialogue. Negative self-talk often comes in the form of harsh judgments, criticisms, and doubts. These are the little, or sometimes loud voices that say things like, "I'm not good enough," "I always mess things up," or "I'll never succeed." These thoughts can be so automatic that you may not even notice them at first, but they can significantly undermine your confidence and self-worth. One way to recognize negative self-talk is by paying attention to how you feel. When you experience emotions like anxiety, guilt, or frustration, take a moment to check in with your thoughts. Are you being overly critical of yourself? Are you setting unrealistic expectations or comparing yourself to others? Often, negative self-talk is rooted in perfectionism or fear of failure, which can create a cycle of self-sabotage. Once you start noticing these patterns, it's important to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought really true? Would I say this to someone I love? More often than not, negative self-talk is based on fears, insecurities, or old narratives that no longer serve you. Recognizing and challenging these thoughts is the first step toward breaking free from their grip. Replacing negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Now that you're aware of your negative self-talk, the next step is to replace it with positive affirmations. Affirmations are intentional statements that reflect the beliefs and feelings you want to cultivate. For example, if your negative self-talk often tells you that you're not capable of achieving your goals, you might replace that thought with an affirmation like, "I am capable of achieving anything I set my mind to." If you struggle with self-worth, you might say, "I am enough exactly as I am." The key to making affirmations effective is consistency. Repeating them regularly, whether in the mirror, during meditation, or in your journal, helps to rewire your brain. Over time, the more you say and believe these positive statements, the more they will shape your reality. It's not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on your strengths, your potential, and your ability to grow. In moments of doubt or difficulty, pause and consciously replace negative thoughts with affirmations. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or denying how you feel. It means acknowledging your feelings and choosing a more empowering perspective. For instance, instead of thinking, "I'm a failure," try shifting to, "I made a mistake but I am learning and growing from it." This reframing can help you move through challenges with more resilience and self-compassion. Building a habit of positive self-talk. Like any habit, cultivating positive self-talk takes practice. You might not always catch every negative thought right away, and that's okay. What's important is that you keep showing up for yourself, day after day, and making the conscious effort to be kinder and more compassionate in the way you speak to yourself. One way to build this habit is to create a daily routine of affirmations. Start your morning by speaking a few positive statements aloud or writing them down in your journal. Throughout the day, check in with yourself. How are you speaking to yourself? If you notice negativity creeping in, take a moment to breathe and replace it with something more uplifting. You can also create visual reminders for yourself. Write affirmations on sticky notes and place them where you'll see them often, on your mirror, computer, or phone. These little prompts will serve as gentle reminders to stay positive, even when life gets challenging. Over time, as you make positive self-talk a regular part of your life, you'll notice shifts not only in how you feel but also in how you approach your goals and relationships. Positive self-talk builds confidence and reinforces your belief in your own abilities. It empowers you to take risks, face challenges, and move forward, knowing that you have the inner strength to handle whatever comes your way. Overcoming self-doubt. One of the biggest obstacles to cultivating positive self-talk is self-doubt. Even when you're doing the work of speaking kindly to yourself, doubt can still creep in, making you question whether you truly deserve the love, success, or happiness you seek. Self-doubt often stems from past experiences or limiting beliefs that tell you you're not enough. To overcome self-doubt, it's essential to recognize it for what it is, a fear-based response to uncertainty. When you feel self-doubt rising, take a moment to breathe deeply and remind yourself that you are capable, worthy, and deserving of all the good things life has to offer. Affirmations can be a powerful tool in these moments. Statements like, "I trust myself and my abilities," or "I am worthy of success and happiness," can help quiet the doubt and reinforce your self-belief. It's also helpful to reflect on your past achievements and moments when you've overcome challenges. Remind yourself of your resilience, your strengths, and your capacity for growth. Self-doubt will always be a part of the human experience, but with practice, you can learn to quiet that voice and replace it with one of confidence and self-assurance. Speaking to yourself like a friend. Perhaps one of the most transformative shifts in self-talk is learning to speak to yourself the way you would speak to a friend. Imagine how you would respond if a friend came to you feeling down or doubting themselves. You'd likely offer words of encouragement, reassurance, and support. Yet, when it comes to ourselves, we often don't extend the same kindness. The truth is, you deserve the same love and kindness you give to others. The next time you catch yourself being overly critical or harsh, pause and ask yourself, would I say this to someone I care about? If the answer is no, then it's time to adjust your internal dialogue. Offer yourself the compassion, understanding, and encouragement you would give to a friend. By cultivating this habit of speaking kindly to yourself, you'll find that self-love becomes easier, more natural. You'll begin to see yourself not through the lens of criticism, but through the lens of compassion and possibility. Positive self-talk isn't about ignoring reality or avoiding challenges. It's about choosing to lift yourself up rather than tear yourself down. It's about believing in your worth and speaking to yourself in ways that reflect that belief. Transforming your inner dialogue. Cultivating positive self-talk is one of the most empowering acts of self-love you can practice. It's about choosing to speak to yourself in ways that affirm your worth, encourage your growth, and remind you of your potential. As you continue to work through this journal, remember that your words have power. Use them to uplift yourself, to challenge negative beliefs, and to reinforce your value. This is a practice that will transform not only the way you see yourself but also the way you navigate the world. You are worthy of love, kindness, and compassion. Let your inner voice reflect that truth every day. Chapter 3. Setting Boundaries with Love. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful acts of self-love, yet it's often one of the most challenging. Many people struggle with the concept of boundaries because they fear rejection, conflict, or being perceived as selfish. But boundaries are not about keeping people out. They are about protecting your energy, your well-being, and your peace. In this chapter, we'll explore why boundaries are essential for self-love, how to set them with kindness and clarity, and how they can strengthen your relationships, not weaken them. Why boundaries matter. At its core, a boundary is a clear line that defines what you are comfortable with and what you are not. It helps you communicate your needs, protect your emotional and physical space, and maintain balance in your life. Without boundaries, it's easy to fall into patterns of overextending yourself, saying yes when you mean no, and allowing others to take advantage of your time, energy, or emotions. This can lead to feelings of resentment, burnout, and a loss of personal identity. Boundaries are not only necessary for maintaining healthy relationships with others, they are crucial for maintaining a healthy relationship with yourself. When you set boundaries, you are essentially telling yourself, I am worthy of respect. My needs matter. Boundaries are an act of self-respect and self-care, allowing you to prioritize your well-being without guilt or fear. Many people hesitate to set boundaries because they fear they'll come across as selfish or hurtful. But setting boundaries isn't about rejecting others, it's about honoring yourself. When done with love and clarity, boundaries don't have to cause conflict. They create clarity and strengthen mutual respect. By setting boundaries, you are making it clear what you need to maintain your emotional and physical health, while also encouraging others to respect those needs. Learning to say no without guilt. One of the biggest challenges in setting boundaries is learning to say no. For many of us, the idea of saying no feels uncomfortable, especially when it involves people we care about. We don't want to disappoint others, create conflict, or be seen as uncooperative. But constantly saying yes to others at the expense of our own needs can lead to overwhelm and exhaustion. Saying no doesn't have to be harsh or confrontational. In fact, it can be an act of love, both for yourself and for the other person. When you say no, you are being honest about your limits, which allows you to show up more fully and authentically in your relationships. Instead of overcommitting and feeling resentful, you can say yes to the things that truly matter to you, while kindly but firmly declining the rest. The key to saying no without guilt is to remember that you are not responsible for managing other people's emotions. Your responsibility is to yourself, to honor your time, energy, and well-being. When you say no, you are simply setting a boundary to protect your needs, not rejecting the person making the request. It's important to communicate this with kindness and clarity, letting the other person know that your decision is not about them but about maintaining your balance and peace. A helpful phrase to practice when saying no is, "I appreciate the offer, but I'm unable to commit to that right now." This statement is respectful, clear, and non-confrontational, allowing you to set a boundary without feeling the need to justify or explain yourself further. Communicating boundaries with clarity. Once you've identified the need for a boundary, the next step is communicating it clearly. Many people struggle with boundary setting because they aren't sure how to express their needs without feeling awkward or uncomfortable. But clear communication is essential to maintaining healthy boundaries, and it can be done in a way that is both kind and assertive. When expressing a boundary, it's important to be direct and specific. Vague or passive communication can lead to misunderstandings, leaving the other person unsure of your limits. For example, instead of saying, "I need some space," try being more specific with something like, "I need an hour of alone time after work to recharge." This way, the person knows exactly what you need and why, which reduces the likelihood of miscommunication or hurt feelings. It's also important to use "I" statements when communicating boundaries. This keeps the focus on your needs and feelings rather than blaming or criticizing the other person. For example, instead of saying, "You never respect my time," try, "I feel overwhelmed when I don't have enough time to rest and I need more personal space in the evenings." This approach reduces defensiveness and helps the other person understand your perspective. Remember, boundaries are not about controlling others, they are about communicating your needs and limits. It's important to approach the conversation from a place of self-respect and mutual respect, allowing space for dialogue while remaining firm in your commitment to honor yourself. Dealing with pushback. One of the hardest parts of setting boundaries is dealing with pushback, especially from people who may not understand or respect your limits. It's natural to feel anxious or guilty when someone reacts negatively to a boundary you've set. They may try to persuade you to change your mind, question your decision, or even guilt-trip you into saying yes. It's important to remember that other people's reactions to your boundaries are not your responsibility. Their discomfort or disappointment doesn't mean that you've done something wrong. In fact, pushback can often be a sign that the boundary is necessary. People who are used to you always saying yes may struggle with the change, but that doesn't mean you should compromise your well-being to accommodate their preferences. When dealing with pushback, it's essential to stay firm in your boundary while remaining calm and respectful. You don't have to engage in a long explanation or argument. Simply restate your boundary, acknowledging their feelings without bending your limits. For example, you can say, "I understand that this is disappointing for you, but I need to honor my own needs right now." By remaining compassionate but firm, you communicate that while you care about the other person's feelings, you are committed to protecting your own well-being. Boundaries in different areas of life. Boundaries are not one size fits all. They vary depending on the context and the relationships involved. You may need to set different boundaries in different areas of your life, whether it's with family, friends, work, or even yourself. Here's a look at how boundaries might play out in some of these areas. Family boundaries. Family dynamics can be tricky, especially when there are long-standing patterns of behavior. You may need to set boundaries around how much time you spend with family members, how involved they are in your personal decisions, or how they communicate with you. For example, you might set a boundary around topics that are off-limits during family gatherings, or you may need to limit your availability to attend every family event if it causes you stress. Friendship boundaries. In friendships, boundaries help ensure that the relationship is balanced and mutually respectful. You may need to set boundaries around how much emotional energy you give to a friend, especially if you feel drained or taken advantage of. This could mean limiting late-night calls when you need rest or saying no to plans when you need alone time. Healthy friendships respect these boundaries and understand that they are necessary for both people to thrive. Work boundaries. In the workplace, boundaries help maintain a healthy balance between professional and personal life. You may need to set limits on how much work you take home, how often you check emails outside of office hours, or how much personal information you share with colleagues. These boundaries help prevent burnout and protect your mental health. Personal boundaries. Perhaps one of the most overlooked areas of boundary setting is with yourself. Setting personal boundaries means honoring your own time, energy, and needs. This might mean setting limits on how much time you spend on social media, committing to a self-care routine, or creating space for rest and relaxation. Personal boundaries ensure that you are prioritizing your own well-being, even when no one else is involved. Strengthening relationships through boundaries. One of the biggest myths about boundaries is that they harm relationships. In reality, healthy boundaries strengthen relationships by fostering mutual respect and clear communication. When both people in a relationship understand each other's needs and limits, there is less room for resentment, misunderstandings, or power struggles. Boundaries create a space where both parties feel safe, respected, and valued. Setting boundaries can also deepen intimacy in relationships. When you are clear about your needs and feel empowered to express them, you bring your whole, authentic self into the relationship. This allows for more honest and open communication, as well as a deeper sense of trust. In contrast, when boundaries are not set or respected, feelings of resentment or frustration can build, leading to disconnection. Healthy boundaries also allow you to be more present and engaged in your relationships. When you aren't overextending yourself or feeling drained, you have more energy and love to give. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you're pushing people away, it means you're creating the space to show up as your best, most authentic self. Conclusion: boundaries as acts of love. Setting boundaries is an essential part of self-love. It's about recognizing that your time, energy, and well-being are valuable and worthy of protection. Boundaries allow you to create a life that reflects your values and priorities, rather than being pulled in every direction by the needs or expectations of others. As you practice setting boundaries, remember that it's not always easy, especially at first. You may face resistance from others and you may feel uncomfortable or guilty along the way. But every time you set a boundary, you are affirming your worth and strengthening your relationship with yourself. Boundaries are not walls. They are bridges to healthier, more fulfilling relationships, both with others and with yourself. In the end, setting boundaries is one of the most loving things you can do for yourself. It's an act of self-respect that allows you to live in alignment with your true self, while also fostering deeper, more authentic connections with those around you. You deserve to protect your peace, honor your needs, and build a life that reflects the love and respect you have for yourself. Chapter 4: Healing Past Wounds. As you travel the path of self-love, one of the most profound and challenging steps is healing the emotional wounds from your past. These wounds, whether caused by trauma, rejection, failure, or painful relationships, often leave deep marks on how we perceive ourselves and how we relate to others. Many of us carry these scars for years, often unconsciously, and they shape our thoughts, behaviors, and beliefs about our worth. In this chapter, we'll explore the importance of healing past wounds as part of the self-love journey, how to release emotional baggage, and how to cultivate forgiveness as a tool for moving forward. Understanding emotional wounds. Emotional wounds are the lingering pain and negative feelings associated with difficult or traumatic experiences in your past. These wounds might stem from childhood, relationships, or other life events where you felt hurt, abandoned, or betrayed. They can manifest as deep-rooted beliefs like, "I'm not worthy of love," "I always mess things up," or "I'll never be enough." Even when these experiences are long behind us, their impact can persist, influencing the way we think, act, and relate to others. The problem with unresolved emotional wounds is that they often lead to patterns of behavior that hinder self-love. You might find yourself engaging in self-sabotage, pushing people away, or believing that you don't deserve happiness. These wounds create barriers that keep you stuck in cycles of pain and self-doubt. Healing these wounds is not about erasing the past or pretending it didn't happen. Instead, it's about acknowledging the pain, processing the emotions, and finding ways to move forward without letting the past define you. Acknowledging the wound. The first step in healing any wound is acknowledging that it exists. Too often, people bury their pain, hoping that if they ignore it long enough, it will go away. But unhealed wounds have a way of resurfacing, often in the most unexpected moments. You might find yourself triggered by a comment, a situation, or even a memory that brings all those buried emotions rushing back. Acknowledging the wound means being honest with yourself about where you're hurting. It requires vulnerability, which can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary for healing. Take a moment to reflect on the events or experiences that have left a lasting impact on your self-esteem or sense of worth. What memories still evoke feelings of sadness, anger, or guilt? What beliefs have you internalized because of those experiences? By identifying these wounds, you begin to create space for healing. Journaling is an excellent tool for this process. As you write, allow yourself to express all the emotions tied to the wound. You don't need to censor yourself or make it sound neat or polished. This is your space to pour out everything you've been carrying, your hurt, your fears, and your frustrations. Sometimes, simply acknowledging the pain is a powerful step toward healing. The role of forgiveness in healing. Forgiveness is a key element of healing past wounds, but it's often misunderstood. Many people think that forgiving someone means excusing their behavior or pretending the hurt never happened. But true forgiveness is not about letting someone off the hook for their actions. Instead, it's about freeing yourself from the emotional grip that the pain has over you. It's about releasing the hold that anger, resentment, and bitterness have on your heart. Forgiving others doesn't mean that what they did was okay. It means that you are no longer allowing their actions to dictate your emotional state. You're choosing to reclaim your peace and move forward. Forgiveness is an act of self-love, because it allows you to let go of the heavy burden of unresolved pain. Equally important is learning to forgive yourself. Many people carry guilt or shame over past mistakes or perceived failures, holding on to the belief that they aren't worthy of forgiveness. But self-forgiveness is essential to healing. It's about recognizing that you are human, that you make mistakes, and that those mistakes don't define your worth. Self-forgiveness allows you to move forward without the weight of self-judgment, giving you the freedom to grow and evolve. To practice forgiveness, start by acknowledging the feelings you have toward the person, or yourself, who caused the hurt. Allow yourself to feel the anger, the sadness, or the disappointment. Then, when you're ready, choose to let go of those feelings. You might say something like, "I forgive you for the pain you caused me, and I release this burden for my own peace." This isn't a one-time event, it's a process, and it's okay if it takes time. But each step toward forgiveness is a step toward healing. Releasing emotional baggage. As you work through the healing process, you may discover that you've been carrying emotional baggage for years. This baggage can weigh you down, affecting your relationships, your self-worth, and your ability to move forward in life. Emotional baggage often takes the form of unresolved anger, fear, guilt, or shame, and it can manifest in behaviors like avoidance, withdrawal, or emotional outbursts. Releasing this baggage is a crucial step in your self-love journey, but it requires intentional work. Start by identifying the beliefs or patterns that are tied to the past. For example, if you have a belief that, "I'm not good enough," ask yourself where that belief comes from. What experiences or messages in your past have reinforced that idea? Once you've identified the source, you can begin to challenge and reframe those beliefs. One effective way to release emotional baggage is through visualization exercises. Close your eyes and imagine yourself holding a heavy suitcase filled with all the pain, anger, and negative beliefs you've been carrying. Now, picture yourself opening the suitcase and letting those emotions float away, whether they dissolve into light, drift away like clouds, or fall away like leaves in the wind. Visualize yourself feeling lighter, freer, and more at peace. Letting go of emotional baggage doesn't mean forgetting what happened or minimizing your feelings. It means choosing not to carry the weight of the past into your present or future. It's about creating space for new, positive experiences and beliefs to take root. Embracing healing as a journey. Healing is not a linear process. It doesn't happen overnight, and there will likely be times when you feel like you've made progress, only to be triggered by something that brings the pain back. That's okay. Healing is a journey, and like any journey, it has ups and downs. What's important is that you keep moving forward even when it feels difficult. One of the most important things you can do for yourself on this journey is to practice patience and compassion. Healing is not about perfection, it's about progress. There will be days when the pain feels heavy, and days when you feel lighter and more free. Both are part of the process. Be gentle with yourself and remember that healing takes time. Surround yourself with supportive people who understand and respect your healing journey. Whether it's friends, family, or a therapist, having a support system can make a world of difference. These people can offer comfort, perspective, and encouragement when you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed. Affirmations for emotional healing. As you work through the process of healing past wounds, affirmations can be a powerful tool to reinforce your sense of worth and your commitment to self-love. Here are some affirmations to help you on your healing journey. I release the pain of the past and embrace the peace of the present. I forgive myself for past mistakes and allow myself to move forward with love. I am deserving of healing and wholeness. The past does not define me. I create my own path forward. I choose to let go of what no longer serves me and welcome joy and peace into my life. Repeat these affirmations regularly, whether in the morning, before bed, or whenever you're feeling weighed down by the past. They serve as gentle reminders that healing is possible and that you are deserving of peace and happiness. Conclusion: moving forward with lightness. Healing past wounds is one of the most courageous acts of self-love you can undertake. It's not always easy, but it is essential for living a life of peace, joy, and self-acceptance. As you heal, you'll find that the heavy weight of the past begins to lift, allowing you to move forward with greater lightness and freedom. You deserve to live a life that is not defined by past hurts or limitations. You deserve to feel whole, to embrace your worth, and to experience the fullness of love, both from yourself and from others. By healing your wounds, you are creating space for new possibilities, for growth, and for a deeper connection with yourself. Remember, healing is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself, and know that every step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward greater peace and self-love. As you continue this journey, trust that you are capable of releasing the past and embracing a future filled with light, love, and possibility. Chapter 5: The Power of Gratitude. Gratitude is one of the simplest yet most transformative practices we can incorporate into our lives. It has the power to shift our mindset, lift our spirits, and open our hearts to abundance and joy. When we practice gratitude, we are acknowledging the goodness in our lives, no matter how small or fleeting it may seem. In the context of self-love, gratitude becomes a powerful tool for shifting our focus from what we perceive to be lacking to what we already have, and for recognizing our inherent worth in the process. In this chapter, we'll explore how gratitude supports self-love, how to incorporate gratitude into your daily routine, and how this practice can deepen your sense of self-acceptance and inner peace. Gratitude as a self-love practice. At its core, gratitude is about recognizing and appreciating the positive aspects of your life. It might be as simple as being thankful for a warm cup of coffee in the morning, or as profound as feeling gratitude for the love and support of friends and family. When it comes to self-love, gratitude serves as a reminder that you are worthy of love, joy, and abundance. It shifts your focus from what you believe is missing in your life to what is already present, helping you realize that you are enough, exactly as you are. Gratitude is not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging that, even in difficult times, there is always something to be thankful for. This shift in perspective is powerful because it helps you break free from the cycle of negativity and self-criticism that can so easily take hold. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you begin to see yourself, and your life, in a more positive light. In terms of self-love, gratitude can help you appreciate the unique qualities that make you who you are. Instead of fixating on your perceived flaws or shortcomings, gratitude invites you to acknowledge your strengths, your growth, and your resilience. It encourages you to be kinder to yourself and to celebrate the progress you've made, no matter how small it may seem. Shifting your perspective with gratitude. One of the most transformative aspects of gratitude is its ability to shift your perspective. Often we get caught up in negative thinking patterns, focusing on what's going wrong in our lives, what we don't have, or what we haven't achieved. These thoughts can lead to feelings of frustration, inadequacy, or even hopelessness. Gratitude, however, interrupts these patterns by redirecting your attention to the positive aspects of your life. This shift in perspective can have profound effects on your emotional well-being. When you focus on what you're grateful for, your brain begins to notice more things to be thankful for. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to seek out and focus on the positive, rather than dwelling on the negative. This doesn't mean you'll never experience negative emotions again, but it does mean you'll have a powerful tool to help you move through those emotions with greater ease and resilience. Gratitude also encourages you to live more mindfully. Instead of rushing through your day on autopilot, constantly thinking about what's next or what's missing, gratitude invites you to pause and fully appreciate the present moment. This mindfulness allows you to experience life more fully, savoring the small joys that might otherwise go unnoticed. Daily gratitude affirmations. Incorporating gratitude into your daily routine can be a simple yet powerful way to deepen your practice of self-love. One effective method is through the use of gratitude affirmations, short, positive statements that help reinforce feelings of thankfulness and appreciation. These affirmations can serve as gentle reminders to focus on the good in your life and to acknowledge your worth. Here are a few gratitude affirmations to help you get started. I am grateful for the love and kindness that surrounds me. I appreciate my unique strengths and the growth I've experienced. I am thankful for this moment and the peace it brings. I am grateful for my resilience and the lessons I've learned from challenges. Every day, I find more reasons to be thankful. These affirmations can be spoken aloud, written in your journal, or repeated silently to yourself throughout the day. The key is consistency. By making gratitude affirmations a regular part of your routine, you'll begin to notice a shift in how you think and feel. Another powerful exercise is to start each day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. They can be as big or small as you like. What matters is that you take a moment to acknowledge them. This simple practice sets a positive tone for the day and helps you cultivate an attitude of gratitude, no matter what challenges may arise. Gratitude and self-acceptance. One of the beautiful byproducts of practicing gratitude is that it naturally leads to greater self-acceptance. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you begin to appreciate yourself in a new light. Instead of seeing yourself through the lens of self-criticism, you start to acknowledge your accomplishments, your strengths, and the beauty of your journey. Gratitude encourages you to accept yourself as you are right now, rather than constantly striving for some future version of yourself. It helps you recognize that while growth and improvement are important, so is appreciating who you are in this moment. This acceptance is a crucial aspect of self-love, as it allows you to release the pressure of perfectionism and embrace the fullness of who you are. By focusing on what you're grateful for, you also begin to shift your relationship with your body, mind, and emotions. Rather than seeing your body as something to be fixed or changed, gratitude invites you to appreciate it for all that it does for you. Instead of judging your emotions, you can be thankful for the ways they guide and inform you. This shift toward gratitude-based self-acceptance creates a deeper, more loving relationship with yourself. The ripple effect of gratitude. One of the most remarkable things about gratitude is its ripple effect. When you practice gratitude, it not only transforms your relationship with yourself, but it also impacts the way you interact with others and the world around you. Gratitude fosters empathy, compassion, and connection, helping you to cultivate more positive relationships and a greater sense of community. When you approach life with a grateful heart, you naturally attract more positivity. People are drawn to those who radiate appreciation and joy. You'll find that your relationships become more harmonious, your interactions more meaningful, and your overall experience of life more fulfilling. Gratitude also helps you handle difficult situations with greater grace and resilience, as you're able to focus on the lessons and growth opportunities rather than dwelling solely on the challenges. In this way, gratitude becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. The more you practice it, the more you experience its benefits, and the more naturally it flows into your life. It allows you to see abundance where you once saw lack, and to feel empowered rather than overwhelmed by life's ups and downs. Cultivating a gratitude practice. Building a gratitude practice doesn't require grand gestures or hours of meditation. It's about finding small, consistent ways to weave gratitude into your everyday life. Here are a few simple ways to start. 1. Gratitude journal. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you are grateful for. They can be small, everyday moments or larger milestones. This practice helps you end the day on a positive note and trains your brain to notice the good. 2. Gratitude meditation. Take a few moments each day to sit quietly and reflect on what you are grateful for. Focus on your breath, and as you exhale, mentally list the things, people, or experiences that bring you joy and peace. 3. Gratitude in conversations. Make a habit of expressing gratitude in your interactions with others. Whether it's thanking a colleague for their help, appreciating a friend for their support, or acknowledging your partner's kindness, speaking gratitude aloud strengthens your connections and spreads positivity. 4. Mindful gratitude. Throughout the day, pause to appreciate the small moments, whether it's the warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of a delicious meal, or the sound of laughter. By practicing mindfulness, you bring more awareness to the present moment and the simple joys it contains. The more you cultivate gratitude, the more it becomes second nature. You'll find yourself naturally shifting from a mindset of lack to one of abundance, and your sense of self-love will grow stronger as a result. Conclusion. Gratitude as a gateway to self-love. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools you have in your self-love journey. It helps you shift your focus from what's missing to what's already present, from self-criticism to self-acceptance. As you practice gratitude, you'll find that your relationship with yourself deepens, becoming more compassionate, loving, and appreciative. You'll start to see yourself through the lens of abundance rather than lack, recognizing that you are enough just as you are. Incorporating gratitude into your daily life not only transforms your relationship with yourself but also enhances your relationships with others and your overall experience of life. It is a practice that brings more joy, peace, and fulfillment to every aspect of your life. Remember, self-love is not about perfection. It's about progress and appreciation for the journey. And gratitude is the gateway to that deeper sense of love and appreciation for yourself and the world around you. Start small, stay consistent, and watch as the power of gratitude transforms your life in ways you may never have imagined. Chapter 6. Embracing your authentic self. Embracing your authentic self is a crucial and transformative aspect of self-love. It involves shedding the masks we wear to fit in, breaking free from the expectations of others, and living in alignment with our true values, desires, and personality. When you embrace your authentic self, you acknowledge that you are enough just as you are, without needing to prove yourself or seek validation from the outside world. In this chapter, we will explore what it means to be authentic, why it's essential for self-love, and how you can begin the journey of embracing and celebrating your true self. Discovering your true identity. Before you can fully embrace your authentic self, it's essential to understand who that person truly is. This might sound simple, but many of us go through life disconnected from our true selves, shaped by societal norms, family expectations, and external influences. We are taught from an early age how to behave, what success looks like, and even how to define our worth. As a result, it's easy to lose sight of our unique identity in the process of conforming to these standards. Discovering your true identity requires self-reflection and a willingness to question the labels and roles you've adopted throughout your life. Ask yourself, who am I when no one else is watching? What are my true values? What brings me joy and fulfillment? What do I want from life, independent of others' expectations? These questions can guide you in peeling back the layers of societal conditioning to reveal the person you are at your core. Journaling can be a powerful tool in this process. Write freely about your thoughts, experiences, and desires, allowing yourself to explore different aspects of your identity. There is no right or wrong answer, only your truth, which becomes clearer the more you delve into it. This exploration is not about finding a fixed answer. It's about reconnecting with the parts of yourself that may have been suppressed or forgotten over time. The fear of being authentic. One of the biggest challenges in embracing your authentic self is the fear of rejection or judgment. Many of us have internalized the belief that being ourselves might lead to disapproval or make us vulnerable to criticism. As a result, we often hide or downplay parts of who we are to fit in or gain acceptance. This can lead to feelings of disconnect, dissatisfaction, and even self-betrayal. It's important to acknowledge that the fear of being authentic is a natural response to the desire for belonging and acceptance. We are social beings, and it's common to want to fit in with the people around us. However, the cost of suppressing your true self is much higher than the discomfort of potential rejection. When you hide your authentic self, you end up living a life that doesn't feel aligned with your values or desires, which can lead to frustration and a sense of emptiness. The key to overcoming this fear is recognizing that your worth is not dependent on other people's approval. The more you embrace who you truly are, the more you'll attract people and opportunities that resonate with your authentic self. Yes, some people may not understand or appreciate your authenticity, but that's okay. You don't need to be everyone's cup of tea. What matters is that you are living in alignment with your truth, and that truth will naturally draw the right people and experiences into your life. Letting go of external validation. Another significant step in embracing your authentic self is letting go of the need for external validation. Many of us spend years, or even a lifetime, seeking approval from others. We look to family, friends, social media, or society for confirmation that we are doing the right thing, that we are successful, or that we are worthy of love and respect. While external validation can feel gratifying in the moment, it ultimately leaves you dependent on others for your sense of self-worth. True self-love comes from within. When you rely on external validation, you give away your power and allow others to define your worth. Instead of seeking approval from others, focus on cultivating a deep sense of self-acceptance. Ask yourself, what do I think of myself? Am I living in a way that aligns with my values? Am I proud of who I am? When you are grounded in your own sense of worth, you no longer need others to validate you, because you know your value is inherent. This doesn't mean that feedback from others is irrelevant, but it does mean that your self-worth shouldn't depend on it. You can appreciate compliments, recognition, and support, but they are not the foundation of your self-esteem. When you live authentically, your validation comes from knowing that you are being true to yourself, regardless of what others think. Embracing imperfections. A key aspect of embracing your authentic self is accepting your imperfections. Society often promotes unrealistic standards of perfection, whether in appearance, success, or behavior, that can leave us feeling inadequate. The truth is, no one is perfect, and trying to achieve perfection only leads to stress, anxiety, and self-criticism. Embracing your authentic self means acknowledging that you are a flawed, evolving human being, and that's perfectly okay. Self-love is not about striving to be perfect. It's about accepting and loving yourself as you are, even with your imperfections. This doesn't mean you can't work on improving yourself or growing as a person, but it does mean that you don't have to wait until you're perfect to be worthy of love and respect. You are enough, exactly as you are right now, with all your strengths and weaknesses. When you embrace your imperfections, you open yourself up to deeper connections with others as well. Vulnerability is a powerful tool for building authentic relationships. When you allow yourself to be seen in all your imperfections, you give others permission to do the same, creating a space for genuine connection and mutual support. Living in alignment with your values. Living authentically means aligning your actions with your values. Your values are the guiding principles that reflect what matters most to you. They shape your decisions, your behavior, and how you interact with the world. When you live in alignment with your values, you experience a sense of harmony and fulfillment, because you are acting in a way that feels true to who you are. However, when your actions are out of sync with your values, it creates inner conflict and dissatisfaction. You may feel like you're living a life that doesn't feel like your own, or that you're constantly compromising what matters to you to please others. This disconnect can erode your sense of self and lead to feelings of frustration and unhappiness. To live in alignment with your values, take some time to reflect on what those values are. What do you stand for? What brings you joy and meaning? What do you want to contribute to the world? Once you have a clear understanding of your values, make a conscious effort to align your daily choices with them. This might mean making changes in your relationships, career, or lifestyle, but these changes will bring you closer to living an authentic, fulfilling life. Letting go of comparisons. Comparison is one of the biggest obstacles to embracing your authentic self. In today's world, it's easier than ever to compare ourselves to others, whether it's on social media, in our careers, or in our personal lives. We see other people's successes, achievements, and curated images of happiness, and it's easy to feel like we don't measure up. But comparison is the thief of joy, and it pulls us away from our true selves. Your journey is your own, and it's unique to you. There's no need to compare your path to anyone else's, because what works for someone else may not be right for you. When you embrace your authentic self, you realize that your worth isn't defined by how you measure up to others. Instead, it's defined by your own sense of purpose, fulfillment, and inner peace. Letting go of comparisons allows you to focus on your own growth and development without being distracted by what others are doing. You can celebrate other people's successes while also honoring your own path. This shift in mindset frees you from the pressure to keep up with others and allows you to live a life that is true to who you are. Celebrating your authenticity. Embracing your authentic self is a process, and it's one that deserves to be celebrated. As you begin to live more authentically, take time to acknowledge and honor the steps you've taken to show up as your true self. This might be small acts of courage, like speaking your truth in a conversation, or bigger steps, like making a life-changing decision that aligns with your values. Celebrate the freedom that comes from being yourself without fear of judgment or rejection. Celebrate the growth you've experienced as you've let go of the need for validation and embraced your imperfections. Most importantly, celebrate the joy that comes from living a life that is aligned with your true self. Living authentically is not about perfection. It's about showing up as the real, imperfect, ever-evolving person that you are. When you embrace your authenticity, you give yourself permission to live fully and freely, and that is something worth celebrating every day. Conclusion: the freedom of authenticity. Embracing your authentic self is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It is an act of self-love that allows you to live in alignment with your values, free from the constraints of societal expectations and the need for external validation. When you embrace your true self, you experience a deep sense of freedom and peace, because you are no longer trying to fit into a mold that wasn't designed for you. As you continue your journey of self-love, remember that authenticity is a practice. It's something you cultivate over time, as you learn to shed the layers of conditioning and embrace the truth of who you are. Be patient with yourself, and allow your authenticity to unfold naturally. The more you practice living authentically, the more joy, fulfillment, and self-love you will experience. You are enough just as you are. Embrace that truth and let it guide you toward a life of freedom, joy, and inner peace. Chapter 7: Mindful Self-Care Practices. Self-care is a phrase we hear often, but its true essence goes far beyond indulgence or temporary relief. At its core, self-care is the practice of nurturing your physical, emotional and mental well-being in a mindful and intentional way. It's not simply about treating yourself occasionally, it's about creating habits that consistently support your health, balance, and happiness. In this chapter, we'll explore how mindful self-care practices can enhance your relationship with yourself, how to implement them consistently, and how they play a vital role in your journey to self-love. The importance of mindful self-care. Self-care, especially when practiced mindfully, is an essential pillar of self-love. It involves actively choosing to prioritize your own needs and well-being rather than constantly pushing them aside for the sake of others or external demands. Mindful self-care is about taking time to tune into what your body, mind, and spirit truly need in any given moment, and responding to those needs with compassion and care. We live in a fast-paced world that often values productivity over personal wellness, leaving many people feeling burned out, overwhelmed, or disconnected from themselves. When we neglect self-care, we run the risk of not only feeling drained but also losing touch with our sense of self-worth. Mindful self-care helps to restore that connection by reminding you that your well-being is important, that you are deserving of rest, nourishment, and joy. Mindfulness plays a key role in self-care because it encourages you to be present with yourself and your needs. It's easy to go through the motions of self-care, like taking a bath or getting enough sleep, without actually being mentally present for it. Mindfulness ensures that you're fully engaged in these moments of care, turning routine acts into nourishing rituals that foster deeper self-awareness and connection. Listening to your body. One of the most powerful ways to practice mindful self-care is by learning to listen to your body. Your body constantly communicates with you, signaling when it needs rest, nourishment, movement, or healing. However, many of us have become disconnected from these signals due to busy schedules, societal pressure, or a habit of pushing ourselves too hard. Mindful self-care invites you to slow down and tune into your body's needs. Pay attention to how you feel physically throughout the day. Are you tired, tense, or sluggish? Are you feeling energized and strong? By regularly checking in with your body, you can start to recognize patterns and respond to its needs before reaching a state of burnout. For example, if you notice that you're feeling fatigued, instead of pushing through with caffeine or ignoring the sensation, honor that feeling by giving yourself permission to rest. If you feel tension or discomfort in certain areas of your body, explore gentle stretching or a form of movement that helps release that tension. Listening to your body is an act of self-love because it shows that you value your health and well-being enough to respond to its needs. Emotional self-care and tuning into your feelings. In addition to caring for your physical body, emotional self-care is crucial for maintaining balance and inner peace. Often, we become so focused on external responsibilities that we overlook the importance of processing our emotions. Unprocessed emotions, whether it's stress, sadness, anger, or even joy, can accumulate and lead to feelings of overwhelm, anxiety, or disconnection. Mindful emotional self-care involves taking time to acknowledge and understand your emotions without judgment. Instead of suppressing or avoiding difficult emotions, practice sitting with them and exploring what they might be telling you. For example, feelings of sadness or anger might be signaling unmet needs, while feelings of joy and excitement can point toward what fulfills you. Journaling is an excellent tool for emotional self-care because it allows you to express your feelings in a safe, private space. Writing down your thoughts and emotions helps you process them and gain insight into how you're feeling and why. It can also be a therapeutic way to release built-up emotions, preventing them from festering or causing unnecessary stress. In addition to journaling, mindfulness meditation can be a powerful way to connect with your emotions. By sitting in stillness and observing your thoughts and feelings without trying to change them, you can cultivate a deeper understanding of yourself. This practice of mindfulness helps to develop emotional resilience and equips you with tools to respond to your emotions with compassion rather than reactivity. The role of rest and self-care. In a culture that often glorifies busyness and productivity, rest can feel like a luxury rather than a necessity. However, rest is one of the most fundamental forms of self-care. It's during moments of rest that your body and mind can recover, recharge, and rejuvenate. Without adequate rest, both physically and mentally, it becomes challenging to function at your best or maintain a positive mindset. Rest doesn't just mean sleep, although getting enough quality sleep is critical to your health. It also means taking breaks throughout your day, allowing yourself downtime, and creating space to relax without feeling guilty. Rest can be as simple as stepping away from work to take a few deep breaths, sitting quietly with a cup of tea, or allowing yourself a nap when your body needs it. Many people struggle with giving themselves permission to rest because they equate rest with laziness. However, rest is a form of self-love. It honors your body's natural rhythms and helps you replenish your energy so that you can show up fully for yourself and others. By viewing rest as an essential part of self-care, rather than an indulgence, you can create a more sustainable and balanced lifestyle, nourishing your body through movement and nutrition. Another important aspect of mindful self-care is how you nourish your body, both through movement and nutrition. Exercise and healthy eating are often viewed through the lens of achieving physical goals, such as weight loss or muscle gain, but when approached from a place of self-love, they become acts of nourishment rather than obligation. Movement should feel good and support your well-being, not be a punishment or chore. Mindful movement means tuning into your body and choosing activities that feel enjoyable and supportive to you, whether that's yoga, walking, dancing, or strength training. It's not about rigid schedules or pushing yourself beyond your limits, but about moving in a way that uplifts you physically and mentally. Similarly, mindful eating involves paying attention to how the food you consume makes you feel, both physically and emotionally. It's about nourishing your body with wholesome foods that support your health and energy levels while also allowing space for enjoyment and pleasure in your meals. Mindful eating helps you reconnect with the experience of food, allowing you to savor each bite and appreciate how it fuels and nourishes your body. Creating rituals of self-care. One way to ensure that self-care becomes a regular part of your life is by creating rituals around it. Rituals elevate ordinary moments into meaningful acts of self-love by adding intention and mindfulness to your daily routine. These rituals don't have to be elaborate or time-consuming. What matters most is the intention behind them. For example, you might create a morning ritual where you take a few moments to sit in quiet reflection with your cup of coffee or tea, setting positive intentions for the day ahead. Or you might develop an evening self-care ritual that involves lighting candles, playing soft music, and engaging in a calming skincare routine before bed. These small but intentional rituals remind you to prioritize yourself and bring a sense of peace and grounding to your day. Another powerful self-care ritual could be setting aside time each week to do something purely for yourself, whether it's reading a book, taking a long bath, or pursuing a creative hobby. This dedicated me time becomes a sacred space where you can recharge and reconnect with yourself, free from external demands. Practicing boundaries as self-care. Setting and maintaining boundaries is a vital aspect of self-care. When you establish boundaries, you are protecting your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Without clear boundaries, it's easy to overextend yourself, leading to exhaustion and resentment. Boundaries might involve saying no to requests or commitments that drain you, setting limits on how much time you spend on social media, or carving out quiet time for yourself when you need it. Practicing boundaries is an act of self-respect, reminding yourself and others that your well-being is a priority. It's important to remember that boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're about creating space for yourself to thrive. When you practice boundaries with love and clarity, you honor your needs while still maintaining healthy, supportive relationships with others. Consistency in self-care. One of the keys to truly benefiting from self-care is consistency. It's easy to practice self-care when things feel overwhelming, but it's equally important to maintain these habits during periods of calm and balance. Consistent self-care helps prevent burnout, keeps you grounded, and allows you to show up as your best self. Self-care doesn't have to be time-consuming or expensive. It's about weaving small, meaningful moments of care into your daily life, whether it's taking a 5-minute stretch break, practicing deep breathing, or scheduling a time each week for self-reflection. Consistency helps turn these acts into habits, making self-care a natural and integral part of your routine. Self-care as a form of self-love. Mindful self-care is one of the most loving things you can do for yourself. It's not about checking off tasks on a list, but about creating a deep, intentional connection with your body, mind, and spirit. Through self-care, you learn to listen to your needs, honor your boundaries, and nurture yourself in ways that support your well-being. By making self-care a regular practice, you reinforce the message that you are worthy of love, attention, and care. You show yourself, and the world, that your well-being matters. Whether it's through rest, nourishment, movement, or emotional reflection, each act of self-care is a reminder that you deserve to be cared for, not just occasionally but every day. Incorporating mindful self-care into your life empowers you to show up fully for yourself and others, grounded in a foundation of love and balance. You are worthy of the time, energy, and care that self-love demands, and by nurturing yourself consistently, you strengthen that belief in your own worth. Chapter 8: Visualizing Your Best Self. Visualization is a powerful tool that can transform the way you see yourself and shape the life you desire. At its core, visualization involves creating a mental image of what you want to achieve or the person you aspire to become. It's a practice rooted in both mindfulness and manifestation, where your thoughts, intentions, and beliefs align to bring your desired future into reality. In this chapter, we'll explore how visualization can help you connect with your best self, the science behind its effectiveness, and how you can incorporate it into your daily routine to create positive change in your life. The power of visualization. The mind is incredibly powerful, and the thoughts you hold about yourself and your future can influence your reality in significant ways. Visualization taps into this power by helping you focus on a clear and positive image of what you want to achieve, allowing you to move toward it with intention. By repeatedly visualizing your best self and the life you desire, you start to shift your mindset, break free from limiting beliefs, and open yourself up to new possibilities. When you engage in visualization, you're not just daydreaming, you're actively reprogramming your subconscious mind. Your brain cannot always distinguish between real experiences and imagined ones, which means that vividly imagining yourself achieving your goals can create neural pathways that prepare you for success. It's like giving your brain a practice run of the life you want, allowing you to approach your goals with greater confidence and clarity. Visualization also helps to combat negative self-talk and self-doubt. When you see yourself as capable, worthy, and successful in your mind's eye, you begin to replace the inner critic with a more empowered and supportive inner dialogue. This shift in perspective is crucial for developing self-love, as it reinforces the belief that you are deserving of the life you envision for yourself. Connecting with your best self. Your best self is not some distant, unattainable version of you. It's the fullest, most authentic expression of who you already are. Visualizing your best self is about tapping into your highest potential and imagining how you would show up in the world if you were living in complete alignment with your values, desires, and strengths. Take a moment to reflect on what your best self looks like. How does this version of you feel? How do you carry yourself, speak, and interact with others? What habits and behaviors do you engage in that support your well-being and personal growth? Visualizing your best self isn't about striving for perfection but rather about embodying the qualities that make you feel fulfilled, joyful, and empowered. When you visualize your best self, focus on the feelings associated with being that version of you. Visualization is most effective when it's tied to emotions, because it's the emotions that fuel action. For example, if your best self is confident and self-assured, imagine how it feels to walk into a room with that confidence. Picture yourself speaking your truth with clarity and conviction, and notice the emotions that arise, whether it's pride, strength, or joy. These emotions are what will help you take concrete steps toward becoming your best self. The science behind visualization. While visualization may seem like a purely creative or spiritual practice, there is also science to back up its effectiveness. Studies in neuroscience have shown that when we vividly imagine an action or experience, the same areas of the brain are activated as if we were actually performing that action in real life. This means that visualization can help train the brain to recognize opportunities, make decisions, and take actions that align with the desired outcome. Athletes, performers, and successful individuals often use visualization as a tool to enhance their performance and achieve their goals. By mentally rehearsing the outcomes they want to achieve, whether it's winning a race, delivering a powerful speech, or landing a new job, they prepare their minds and bodies for success. This same principle applies to personal growth and self-love. When you consistently visualize yourself as your best self, you prime your brain to seek out and create the conditions that support that vision. Visualization also helps to reduce anxiety and increase motivation. When you can see yourself succeeding in your mind's eye, it becomes easier to take action toward your goals because you've already mentally experienced what it feels like to achieve them. This sense of familiarity builds confidence and reduces the fear of the unknown. Creating a visualization practice. To harness the power of visualization, it's important to make it a consistent practice. Visualization works best when it's done regularly, allowing you to reinforce your desired vision and integrate it into your daily life. Here's how to create a simple yet effective visualization practice. 1. Set clear intentions. Before you begin visualizing, take a moment to set clear intentions for what you want to achieve or who you want to become. The more specific your vision, the easier it will be to focus on it. For example, instead of visualizing vague success, Think about the specific aspects of your life you want to improve, whether it's confidence, relationships, health, or career. 2. Find a quiet space. Choose a quiet, comfortable space where you won't be disturbed. This will help you fully immerse yourself in the visualization without distractions. You can sit or lie down depending on what feels most comfortable for you. 3. Close your eyes and breathe. Start by closing your eyes and taking a few deep, calming breaths. This helps to clear your mind and bring your focus to the present moment. As you breathe, let go of any tension or stress, allowing yourself to relax. 4. Visualize in vivid detail. Begin to visualize your best self and the life you want to create. Engage all your senses. Imagine how things look, feel, sound, and even smell. The more detailed your visualization, the more powerful it will be. Picture yourself confidently pursuing your goals, achieving success, and living in alignment with your values. 5. Feel the emotions. As you visualize, focus on the emotions that come with being your best self. How do you feel in this vision? Do you feel empowered, joyful, peaceful, or fulfilled? These emotions are key to making the visualization impactful, as they help you connect to the reality of your vision. 6. End with affirmations. Once you've spent a few minutes visualizing, reinforce your vision with positive affirmations. For example, you might say, "I am confident and capable of achieving my dreams," or, "I am worthy of living the life I desire." These affirmations help to solidify your belief in yourself and your vision. 7. Repeat daily. Visualization is most effective when practiced consistently. Try to set aside a few minutes each day, whether in the morning, before bed, or during a break, to visualize your best self. The more you practice, the more natural and powerful it will become. Using visualization to overcome obstacles. Visualization isn't just about imagining success. It's also a valuable tool for overcoming obstacles and challenges. Life will inevitably present hurdles along the way, and visualization can help you prepare for them by mentally rehearsing how you will respond. For example, if you know you struggle with self-doubt in certain situations, visualize yourself facing those moments with confidence and resilience. Picture yourself handling the challenge with grace and ease, speaking kindly to yourself, and staying focused on your goals. By visualizing how you will navigate obstacles, you build mental and emotional resilience, making it easier to stay on track when difficulties arise. Additionally, visualization can help you reframe setbacks as opportunities for growth. Instead of feeling discouraged by challenges, visualize yourself learning from them and coming out stronger. This shift in perspective helps you maintain a positive mindset and keeps you moving forward, even in the face of adversity. Aligning your actions with your vision. While visualization is a powerful tool, it's important to remember that it's not a substitute for action. Visualization helps to clarify your goals, strengthen your mindset, and build confidence, but it must be paired with intentional action to create real change. As you visualize your best self, think about the specific actions you can take to align with that vision. What habits do you need to develop? What steps can you take to move closer to your goals? Visualization helps you create a roadmap for success, but it's up to you to follow through with consistent action. For example, if your best self is someone who prioritizes health and wellness, what small steps can you take to incorporate more movement or healthy eating into your routine? If your best self is confident in relationships, how can you start practicing open communication and vulnerability? Visualization helps you see the destination, but action is what gets you there. Stepping into your best self. Visualization is a powerful practice that allows you to connect with your best self and the life you desire. By vividly imagining your future, aligning with positive emotions, and mentally rehearsing success, you create the foundation for real change. Visualization helps to rewire your brain, build confidence, and overcome limiting beliefs, making it easier to take action toward your goals. As you continue your journey of self-love, remember that your best self is already within you, waiting to be fully expressed. Visualization helps you tap into that potential, guiding you toward a life that reflects your values, dreams, and strengths. It's a practice that invites you to dream bigger, believe in yourself, and take inspired action every day. You have the power to create the life you envision for yourself. By combining the mental clarity of visualization with the consistency of intentional action, you can step fully into your best self and live a life that is aligned with your highest potential. Chapter 9. Overcoming Challenges to Self-Love. The journey to self-love is transformative, but it's not without its challenges. Along the way you may face obstacles. both internal and external, that make it difficult to maintain a loving relationship with yourself. These challenges can come in the form of negative self-talk, fear of failure, past traumas, or societal pressures that try to pull you away from your authentic self. In this chapter, we will explore common challenges to self-love, how to navigate through them, and how to develop resilience so that you can continue to nurture and grow your self-love even in difficult times. Recognizing negative self-talk. One of the most pervasive obstacles to self-love is negative self-talk. That inner voice that tells you you're not good enough, you always fail, or you don't deserve happiness can be powerful and deeply ingrained. These messages often stem from past experiences, societal conditioning, or comparisons to others. Over time, they become so familiar that we may start to believe them as truth, even when they are far from reality. To overcome this challenge, it's crucial to become aware of your inner dialogue. Often we aren't fully conscious of how frequently we criticize ourselves or question our worth. The first step is to start noticing these negative thoughts when they arise. Once you become aware of them, you can begin to challenge and reframe them. When you catch yourself in negative self-talk, ask yourself, is this thought helping or hurting me? Is there any evidence to support this thought? Most of the time, negative self-talk is based on fear, insecurity, or limiting beliefs, rather than on objective reality. By reframing these thoughts, turning "I'm not good enough" into "I am worthy and capable," you begin to shift your mindset toward one that supports self-love. It's important to treat yourself with the same kindness and compassion you would offer a close friend. You wouldn't tell a friend they're worthless or incapable of success, so why say it to yourself? Learning to speak to yourself with encouragement and understanding is a key part of cultivating self-love. Navigating fear of failure. Fear of failure is another common challenge that can prevent you from fully embracing self-love. Many people fear failure because they see it as a reflection of their worth. They may think, if I fail, it means I'm not good enough. This fear can lead to perfectionism, procrastination, or avoiding challenges altogether, keeping you stuck in your comfort zone and preventing growth. To overcome this challenge, it's essential to redefine your relationship with failure. Instead of viewing failure as a personal shortcoming, start to see it as an opportunity for learning and growth. Failure is a natural part of life and an important stepping stone on the path to success. It's through our mistakes and setbacks that we gain valuable insights and build resilience. When you approach failure with a growth mindset, you can take the pressure off yourself to be perfect and instead focus on progress. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? And how can I use this lesson to move forward? By shifting your perspective, failure becomes less about your worth and more about your journey of growth and self-discovery. Embracing failure as a learning opportunity is an act of self-love because it allows you to take risks and pursue your goals without fear of judgment or self-criticism. It gives you the freedom to step outside of your comfort zone, try new things, and continue evolving into your best self. Letting go of perfectionism. Perfectionism is one of the biggest roadblocks to self-love. It's the belief that you must always meet impossibly high standards, perform flawlessly, and never make mistakes. While striving for excellence is admirable, perfectionism can be toxic because it sets unrealistic expectations that are impossible to meet. When perfection becomes the goal, you are constantly chasing an ideal that doesn't exist, which leaves you feeling inadequate no matter how much you achieve. Letting go of perfectionism is essential for cultivating self-love. It requires recognizing that you are human, and humans are inherently imperfect. You don't need to be perfect to be worthy of love, success, or happiness. In fact, your imperfections are part of what makes you unique and valuable. One way to begin releasing perfectionism is to practice self-compassion. When you fall short of your expectations or make a mistake, rather than criticizing yourself, take a moment to acknowledge your effort and remind yourself that it's okay to not be perfect. You might say to yourself, I did my best and that's enough, or, it's okay to make mistakes, I am learning and growing. Self-compassion allows you to embrace your humanity and approach life with more flexibility and ease. It helps you let go of the need for external validation and focus on what truly matters: progress, personal growth, and inner peace. By releasing perfectionism, you create space for more joy, creativity, and authenticity in your life. Healing past wounds and trauma. Many people's struggles with self-love are rooted in past wounds or trauma. Whether from childhood experiences, failed relationships, or difficult life events, these wounds can leave deep emotional scars that affect how you see yourself. Trauma can lead to feelings of unworthiness, shame, or self-blame, making it difficult to fully embrace self-love. Healing past wounds is a challenging but necessary part of the self-love journey. It requires patience, self-compassion, and often the support of others. One of the first steps in healing is acknowledging the pain and giving yourself permission to feel it. Many people try to suppress their emotional pain, believing that if they ignore it, it will go away. However, unaddressed trauma has a way of manifesting in various aspects of your life, from your relationships to your self-worth. Consider seeking support from a therapist or counselor who can guide you through the healing process. Therapy can provide a safe space to explore your feelings, understand the impact of trauma, and develop tools for healing. Healing is not about forgetting the past but rather about finding peace with it so that it no longer holds power over your present or future. In addition to therapy, practices such as journaling, mindfulness, and meditation can help you process emotions and begin to heal. Journaling allows you to express your feelings in a non-judgmental way, while mindfulness and meditation help you stay present and cultivate self-compassion as you navigate the healing process. Remember, healing is not linear. Some days you may feel like you've made significant progress, while others might feel like setbacks. Be patient with yourself and trust that healing is a journey, not a destination. The more you work through your past pain, the more you open yourself up to self-love and inner peace. Breaking free from societal expectations. Society imposes many expectations on how we should look, behave, and live our lives. From beauty standards to career achievements to relationship milestones, these societal norms can make it difficult to embrace your true self and practice self-love. When you try to live up to these external expectations, you may find yourself constantly comparing your life to others or feeling like you're falling short. Breaking free from societal expectations is a vital step in embracing self-love. It requires challenging the belief that your worth is tied to external measures of success or approval. Instead, focus on defining success and happiness on your own terms. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What brings me joy and fulfillment? By aligning your life with your values and desires, rather than societal norms, you create a more authentic and fulfilling path. It's also important to surround yourself with people and messages that support your journey of self-love. Social media, for example, can be a breeding ground for comparison and unrealistic expectations. If you find that certain accounts or platforms make you feel inadequate, consider limiting your exposure to them. Instead, seek out content that uplifts and inspires you, reminding you of your inherent worth. Remember that your journey is unique, and there is no one-size-fits-all approach to happiness or success. By letting go of societal expectations, you free yourself to live a life that is true to who you are, rather than trying to fit into a mold created by others. Cultivating resilience and persistence. One of the most important traits to develop on your self-love journey is resilience. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but resilience helps you stay grounded and continue moving forward. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties, it's about bouncing back from them with a sense of hope and determination. To cultivate resilience, practice viewing challenges as opportunities for growth. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, approach them with curiosity and a growth mindset. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience make me stronger? By adopting a mindset of resilience, you build the mental and emotional strength to persevere through difficult times. It's also helpful to celebrate your progress no matter how small. Every step you take towards self-love is worth acknowledging, even if you haven't yet reached your ultimate goal. Progress is not always linear, but every effort you make is a victory. By focusing on what you've achieved rather than what's still ahead, you reinforce a positive and resilient mindset. Embracing the journey. Overcoming challenges to self-love is an ongoing process that requires patience, self-compassion, and resilience. Whether it's battling negative self-talk, confronting the fear of failure, healing past wounds, or letting go of societal expectations, each challenge presents an opportunity for growth and deeper self-awareness. As you continue on this journey, remember that self-love is not about achieving a perfect state of being, it's about accepting yourself as you are, flaws and all. The challenges you face along the way are part of your unique path, and they help shape the person you are becoming. By developing the tools and mindset to navigate these obstacles, you strengthen your ability to love yourself unconditionally. You deserve to experience self-love, even in the face of challenges. Embrace the journey with kindness, patience, and persistence, knowing that every step brings you closer to a deeper connection with yourself. Chapter 10. Manifesting Self-Love in All Areas of Life. Self-love isn't confined to one part of your life. It's an approach that impacts every aspect of your experience, from your relationships to your career, your health, and your personal fulfillment. Once you've started cultivating self-love, the next step is to apply it to all areas of your life. Living from a place of self-love means making choices that honor your worth, setting boundaries that protect your well-being, and manifesting a life that reflects the respect you have for yourself. In this final chapter, we will explore how you can manifest self-love in all areas of life, creating balance, joy, and fulfillment. Self-love in relationships. Our relationships with others often mirror the relationship we have with ourselves. When we practice self-love, we naturally begin to create healthier, more fulfilling connections with the people around us. However, many of us carry unhealthy patterns into our relationships, whether it's people-pleasing, codependency, or allowing toxic behaviors, because we fear rejection or don't feel worthy of love and respect. To manifest self-love in your relationships, it's essential to start by setting boundaries. Boundaries are not about pushing people away, they are about creating space for mutual respect and care. When you set boundaries, you are communicating your needs and protecting your emotional and physical well-being. This act of self-respect signals to others that you value yourself and expect the same in return. Healthy relationships thrive on clear communication, trust, and mutual support. When you love yourself, you are more likely to choose relationships that align with these values. You stop settling for less than you deserve and start surrounding yourself with people who uplift and nurture you. Remember, the quality of your relationships should enhance your sense of self-worth, not diminish it. If you find yourself in relationships that feel draining, toxic, or unbalanced, it's worth reflecting on whether these connections are aligned with your journey of self-love. Sometimes, manifesting self-love means letting go of relationships that no longer serve your highest good. This can be difficult, but it's a necessary step in creating space for healthier, more fulfilling connections to enter your life. In romantic relationships, self-love plays a vital role in maintaining balance and respect. It's easy to lose yourself in a relationship, especially when you care deeply for the other person. However, loving yourself means ensuring that your needs are met alongside your partner's. A healthy relationship allows both partners to grow, support each other's well-being, and celebrate individuality within the partnership. Self-love in your career. Your career is another area where self-love plays a significant role. Many people struggle with work-related stress, burnout, or dissatisfaction because they don't feel empowered to pursue careers that truly align with their passions or values. They may stay in jobs that drain their energy or fail to recognize their worth, believing they don't deserve better opportunities. Manifesting self-love in your career means recognizing your talents, skills, and passions and allowing them to guide your professional path. When you operate from a place of self-love, you trust that you are worthy of a career that brings you fulfillment, joy, and purpose. You stop settling for roles that don't resonate with you and instead, you seek out opportunities that align with your authentic self. Self-love in the workplace also means setting boundaries to protect your time and energy. Work-life balance is crucial for your well-being, and it's important to create boundaries that allow you to recharge and maintain your mental and physical health. This might involve setting limits on how many hours you work, ensuring that you take breaks, or being clear about your availability outside of office hours. If you find yourself in a career that doesn't bring you joy or fulfillment, self-love invites you to explore new possibilities. This doesn't necessarily mean quitting your job overnight, but it could mean taking steps toward a career that aligns with your passions. Whether it's pursuing further education, exploring creative projects, or seeking mentorship, manifesting self-love in your career is about taking ownership of your professional journey and believing that you deserve a career that brings you satisfaction. Self-love in your health and well-being. Your health, both physical and mental, is one of the most fundamental areas where self-love manifests. The way you treat your body and mind reflects how much you value yourself. Unfortunately, many people neglect their health, pushing through exhaustion, stress, or discomfort in the name of productivity or external expectations. Manifesting self-love in your health means making choices that nourish and support your well-being. This includes everything from eating nutritious foods and engaging in regular movement to getting enough rest and managing stress. But it's not just about following a routine, it's about listening to your body's needs and honoring them with compassion and care. One way to cultivate self-love in your health is by developing a mindful approach to eating and exercise. Instead of viewing food and movement as tasks on a checklist or ways to achieve a certain physical goal, shift your focus to how they make you feel. What foods energize and nourish you? What types of movement bring you joy and help you feel connected to your body? By approaching health from a place of love rather than obligation, you create habits that support long-term well-being rather than short-term results. Mental health is equally important in your self-love journey. Practicing self-care for your mental well-being might include mindfulness exercises, meditation, journaling, or seeking therapy when needed. Self-love involves being gentle with yourself when you're struggling and giving yourself the support and resources to navigate life's challenges. Remember that health is not about achieving perfection, but about creating balance. You don't need to be on a strict regimen or follow every wellness trend to love and care for your body. What matters most is that you tune into your unique needs and make choices that support your overall well-being. Self-love and personal fulfillment. Personal fulfillment is an essential aspect of manifesting self-love. It involves pursuing activities, hobbies, and goals that bring you joy and a sense of purpose. Too often we become caught up in the demands of everyday life, work, responsibilities, and obligations, that we forget to nurture our passions and desires. When you practice self-love, you prioritize your fulfillment as an important part of your overall happiness. One way to manifest self-love in this area is by making time for your passions. Whether it's painting, writing, gardening, or learning a new skill, doing something that brings you joy nourishes your spirit and enhances your sense of self-worth. You deserve to engage in activities that light you up and give you a sense of purpose, even if they don't have a productive outcome. Setting goals that align with your personal values is another powerful way to cultivate fulfillment. When you pursue goals that reflect your authentic desires, rather than what society or others expect of you, you create a life that is meaningful and true to who you are. These goals don't have to be grand or life-changing. They can be small steps toward a more fulfilling life, like dedicating more time to self-care, learning a new hobby, or traveling to a place you've always wanted to visit. Self-love also involves giving yourself permission to rest and enjoy life's simple pleasures. Sometimes, fulfillment comes from slowing down and savoring the present moment, whether that's spending time with loved ones, appreciating nature, or enjoying a quiet evening with a good book. By embracing the present and cultivating gratitude for the life you've created, you manifest self-love in every moment, creating a life of balance and joy. Ultimately, manifesting self-love in all areas of life is about creating balance and joy. It's about aligning your actions with your values, setting boundaries to protect your well-being, and making choices that honor your worth. When you live from a place of self-love, you experience a sense of inner peace and fulfillment that radiates through every part of your life. Balance doesn't mean that every aspect of your life is perfect. It means that you create harmony between your responsibilities, desires, and well-being. It's about recognizing that your needs matter and making time to nurture them, even when life gets busy or challenging. Joy comes from living authentically and engaging with the things that bring you fulfillment. Whether it's through your relationships, career, health, or personal pursuits, joy is a byproduct of self-love because it reflects your decision to prioritize your happiness and well-being. When you manifest self-love in all areas of life, you create space for joy to flourish, even in the midst of life's ups and downs. Living in alignment with self-love. Manifesting self-love in every area of your life is a journey of alignment. It's about aligning your choices, actions, and mindset with the belief that you are worthy of love, respect, and fulfillment. Whether it's through your relationships, career, health, or personal growth, self-love serves as the foundation for a life that feels authentic, balanced, and joyful. As you continue on your path of self-love, remember that it's not about achieving perfection or meeting external standards. It's about consistently showing up for yourself, honoring your needs, and creating a life that reflects your unique values and desires. By practicing self-love in every area of your life, you cultivate a deep sense of inner peace and fulfillment that allows you to thrive. Your journey is yours to shape, and with self-love as your guide, you have the power to create a life that feels meaningful, balanced, and aligned with your true self. Conclusion. Reflecting on your self-love journey. As you reach the final chapter of this journey, it's time to pause and reflect on all that you've learned, embraced, and transformed along the way. Self-love is not a destination that you reach and then stop. It's a lifelong practice, a commitment to treating yourself with kindness, respect, and compassion every single day. This journey is ongoing, and each step you've taken so far has helped build a foundation that will continue to support your growth and happiness. In this concluding chapter, we'll explore the importance of maintaining your self-love practices, continuing your personal growth, and staying resilient as life's challenges inevitably arise. You've already done the powerful work of starting this journey. Now it's about sustaining that momentum and deepening your relationship with yourself. The importance of ongoing practice. Self-love, like any other skill, requires regular practice. It's not something you achieve once and then move on from. It's an evolving process that grows stronger the more you nurture it. Just as you've learned to quiet negative self-talk, set healthy boundaries, and prioritize self-care, it's essential to keep these habits alive in your everyday life. There will be days when self-love feels easy, when you wake up feeling confident, peaceful, and aligned with your values. But there will also be days when old patterns of doubt or self-criticism resurface. This is natural, and it's important to approach these moments with patience and understanding rather than frustration. Self-love is not about being perfect. It's about showing up for yourself, even on the difficult days, and continuing to choose love over fear, doubt, or criticism. Remind yourself regularly that self-love is a practice. Some days, that practice might look like setting aside time for quiet reflection or self-care. On other days, it might mean simply taking a deep breath and offering yourself compassion when things don't go as planned. The key is consistency, continuing to nurture that relationship with yourself no matter where you are on your journey. Embracing imperfection and growth. As you move forward, it's essential to embrace imperfection as a natural part of being human. Society often promotes an unrealistic image of what it means to love oneself, suggesting that we must have everything figured out or be constantly positive and flawless. But true self-love is grounded in accepting yourself fully, flaws, imperfections, and all. Growth comes from acknowledging both your strengths and your areas for improvement. It's about being honest with yourself when you stumble or face challenges, while also celebrating your resilience and progress. Each setback is an opportunity to learn and grow, and by embracing your imperfections, you open yourself up to even greater levels of personal growth. Remember that no one is perfect, and perfection should never be the goal of self-love. Instead, focus on becoming the most authentic version of yourself. The person who feels at peace with who they are, who takes pride in their journey, and who remains open to evolving over time. Self-love isn't static. It grows and transforms as you do. Staying resilient in the face of challenges. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and there will inevitably be moments that challenge your sense of self-love. Whether it's external circumstances like job loss, relationship struggles, or internal battles like self-doubt or fear, it's important to remain resilient in the face of these challenges. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to remain strong even when life feels uncertain or difficult. Self-love plays a critical role in building resilience because it provides the emotional foundation you need to handle challenges with grace. When you love yourself, you're better equipped to navigate tough times without losing your sense of worth or becoming overwhelmed by self-criticism. In moments of difficulty, lean on the practices that have helped you throughout this journey. Return to your affirmations, your mindfulness practices, or your journal to reconnect with the love you have for yourself. Surround yourself with supportive people who uplift and encourage you. Most importantly, remind yourself that you are strong enough to overcome whatever challenges come your way. Resilience also means recognizing that setbacks are temporary. They do not define you or your worth, and they certainly do not diminish the progress you've made. Every challenge is an opportunity to deepen your relationship with yourself, to reaffirm your self-worth, and to rise stronger than before. Continuing personal growth. Self-love is deeply intertwined with personal growth. As you continue on this path, you'll find that self-love fuels your desire to keep learning, evolving, and exploring new aspects of yourself. It encourages you to pursue your passions, set goals that excite you, and remain curious about the world around you. One of the most powerful aspects of self-love is that it gives you permission to grow without fear of judgment or failure. You don't have to stay stuck in the same patterns or roles that no longer serve you. Instead, self-love invites you to embrace change, to try new things, and to take risks in the name of your personal evolution. This growth doesn't have to be dramatic or life-changing. It can be as simple as learning a new skill, stepping outside your comfort zone, or engaging in new experiences that challenge your perspective. The key is to remain open to growth and to trust that you are capable of becoming the best version of yourself. Growth is also about reflecting on how far you've come. Take time to acknowledge your progress, no matter how small it may seem. Celebrate the victories, both big and small, and use them as fuel to continue moving forward. By celebrating your growth, you reinforce the belief that you are constantly evolving and becoming more aligned with your true self. Embracing your journey. Your self-love journey is uniquely yours, shaped by your experiences, choices, and personal growth. It's important to remember that there is no one right way to practice self-love. What matters most is that you remain committed to honoring and nurturing yourself in a way that feels authentic to you. As you continue on this path, embrace the idea that your journey will evolve over time. There will be periods of intense growth, times of reflection, and moments of stillness. Each phase of your journey is valuable, and each experience brings you closer to a deeper sense of self-acceptance and inner peace. You've already done incredible work by embarking on this journey, and now it's about continuing that practice. Self-love is not a finish line to cross. It's a lifelong commitment to showing up for yourself every day in every way. It's about treating yourself with kindness, allowing yourself to rest when needed, and celebrating the unique individual that you are. Final thoughts on self-love. As we close this chapter, take a moment to reflect on the growth you've experienced throughout this journey. Self-love is not always easy, but it is one of the most rewarding and transformative paths you can walk. By cultivating self-love, you've begun to create a life that reflects your true worth, your authentic desires, and your deep connection to yourself. The world often encourages us to seek validation from external sources, but true fulfillment comes from within. By embracing self-love, you've learned to nurture that inner source of validation, to trust in your worth, and to create a life that aligns with who you truly are. Moving forward, remember that self-love is an ongoing practice, one that requires patience, compassion, and commitment. There will be challenges along the way, but with the tools and insights you've gained, you are well equipped to continue this journey with confidence and grace. Above all, know that you are worthy of love, respect, and happiness, simply because you are you. Embrace your journey, continue to grow, and most importantly, always choose love, especially when it comes to yourself. The journey of a lifetime. Self-love is the journey of a lifetime. It's a journey that transforms the way you see yourself, the choices you make, and the life you create. As you move forward, continue to nurture that relationship with yourself, because it is the most important relationship you will ever have. Every day is an opportunity to deepen your self-love practice, to learn more about yourself, and to live more fully in alignment with your values and desires. Remember that this journey is yours, and it is one that is filled with infinite possibilities for growth, joy, and fulfillment. You are worthy of love, always. Keep choosing self-love, and watch as your life unfolds in beautiful, empowering, and transformative ways.